Welcome back to Canines and Cocktails. I'm Megan.
I'm Paul.
And this is episode 5 of Canines and Cocktails, Valentine's Day edition. The Love Bug cocktail is made with your favorite vodka, a lime sparkling soda. We used a lime LaCroix can, and a little bit of grenadine to give it the pretty color, and then top it off with a white cranberry juice. We also used a white cranberry strawberry juice and topped it off with a little bit of fresh strawberry. It's very refreshing and perfect for Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Today we are in the Nature Select headquarters warehouse in Anaheim, California. We've been out of Southern California now almost 29 years.
On our 29th year.
We're on our 29th year. So this is our actual warehouse, so we service customers in the local Southern California area, and we also can ship to anyone who's not currently serviced by Nature Select distributor.
All the western states that aren't that don't have distribution in them for Nature Select.
And on our table we have some of the Valentine's favorites. Our canned food, lamb and rice formula pate, is really popular among customers. We have some of our freeze-dried treats, some Valentine's treats. Behind us we have our New Zealand lamb and rice recipe. It's been one of our top sellers almost the whole time that we've been in business. It's very popular among dogs that have skin issues, allergies, sensitive stomach or digestive issues. It's easier on their tummies, so it's a popular choice for a lot of German Shepherd dogs, along with just general dogs that suffer from allergies. Something to keep in mind when thinking about your dog's heart health or overall health in general. Mind you, we are not veterinarians, so it's always good to check with your local vet. If you plan on switching your dog's food or you want to introduce something new to their diet, it's always good to run it by them first. If you ever feel like your dog is acting different than normal, if they're not eating or drinking as much, or you just notice something completely out of the ordinary, it's always good to take your pet into a vet checkup for peace of mind.
So for the last 28 years we have, going on 29 as Megan said earlier, we have thrived to make sure that what we sell to your pets, what your pets are eating from us, is as wholesome and as healthy as possible. We've made changes over the years to make improvements where we can, and when new things come to light, like the selenium yeast that we put in the products a few years back with the DCM scare, we looked at our calcium levels to make sure they were all in line, and we also made sure that what our products were meat-based formulas. And in all three of those categories, we were knocking it out of the park. Any one of our products, at the very least, 70% of it comes from the meat comes from a protein source, all the way up to 87, almost 90% of the meat comes from a meat protein source.
If you are a dog owner and you've never heard of DCM, or you're thinking, what the heck is that? Basically, it means dilated cardiomyopathy. It's a fancy way of saying dog heart disease or dog heart issues. A few years ago, it was a really popular trending topic because the dog version of the FDA came out and said, hey, we're doing all these studies and it's linking to healthy young dogs getting DCM very early on, which usually it was very rare up until that point. And a lot of
and
it
mostly affecting large
breed
breeds.
dogs,
yeah.
And they found it was because they were eating a grain-free product or grain-free pet food. It doesn't mean that all grain-free pet foods are bad, but something to remember that a dog should only be eating a grain-free product if they cannot process or tolerate grains. Our grain-free products that we offer have, like he mentioned, 80% or more of protein coming from a meat source. Many grain-free products do not have that. A lot of it's coming from a veggie or vegetable protein source, and that's, it's not that it's always going to lead to DCM, but that's the trends that they have researched over the past few years. So
yeah, a lot of studies were even done between grain. I'd look you back to our grain freezer over here also. There's not much difference in the studies they've done with results of either a grain-free product or a healthy grain product. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but that's the case. There really isn't much results either way, why you should be on a grain-free or if you should be on a healthy grain diet. The healthy grain diet, things with it, there's less vegetable protein in them with lamb and rice or with any of our other products. But even with our grain-free product, it's as high as 87% of the meat source. The protein comes from a meat source. And there's very little vegetable. I think there's about 13% vegetable protein in it, so that makes up the formula. You get into the healthy grain formulas, it's very little or no vegetable protein in it, maybe 3 or 4%. We don't use peas and stuff in our grain formulas. We do in our grain-free formulas, but we do not split the peas and all that. And I've spoke about that before in previous. But
something at the end of the day to consider: if you have a large breed dog and your vet tells you, "Hey, your dog needs to be on a grain-inclusive diet," I think it's really important to ask: is my dog allergic to grain, or can he or she not process grain properly? If the answer is yes, then you should be on a grain-free product. If the answer is no, then chances are you can be on a grain-inclusive diet. You just maybe need to be more considerate of the calcium level,
Yep.
the omega-3 and 6 levels and things like that. Personally, I would always recommend a protein that works best for your dog. So some dogs do better on a lamb, fish, or something that's not chicken. 9 times out of 10, big breeds, if they're itchy, scratchy, or don't do well on a certain product, most of the time it's because it's chicken. And there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It's no different than if I can't eat avocado or something like that. Sometimes a dog just develops an allergy to a certain ingredient.
you know, it's funny too. A couple of things that came out of DCM, the DCM scare, and all the articles, and articles that were supported by all the big manufacturers, which I will not mention, and they kind of drove the narrative of where you should be buying the food, who you should be looking for to purchase your food from, and most of them were pushing it to the three of them, the larger manufacturers, and telling folks about companies like ours, calling us a boutique company. And boutique, I tell you what, we've been doing this for 28 years. Some of those other companies weren't around 28 years ago. We're just a small family business. We take a lot of pride in what we do. But boutique, you know, call it what you want. Over the last 10 years, a lot of products have come out that are brand new. And if you look at the labels, and I've talked about this before also, most of their products all look alike. Fresh meat is the main ingredient, split pea protein, and it goes on and on. And we've never succumbed to that, and we won't. Getting back to heart health on dogs.
Something I was going to talk about too is treats. Be mindful of what kind of dog treats or dog chews you're giving your pet. Something to steer clear of, obviously, is something that can make them choke. If something has too high of a calorie or fat content, you always want to observe your pets eating their favorite treat. Have plenty of fresh water available at all times. We offer certain products that some customers like to give their dog. We have our beef taurine topper, which is a fancy way of saying the heart health dog seasoning. It just goes right on top of their pet food. It includes taurine in it, so taurine levels are very important to keep in mind. If you have a dog that's more susceptible to DCM, you can do your research and see if your breed is more likely to develop it regardless of what they eat currently. Another one is just choosing a treat that is high in protein and low calorie. So picking something that's vegetable, fruit, or purely protein. Our beef liver treats are awesome because they are 100% meat. That's all it is. They're just a freeze-dried treat. Really simple, low-calorie way to give your dog treats throughout the day.
Very palatable. Dogs do love it.
Yep. And did you want to talk about omega-3 and 6? What that means?
Yeah, the omega-3 and 6 is great for the heart. It's great for the heart. It's great for the skin coat. And overall, it's almost flows in with the psyllium yeast, what it does for the dog as well. So we are not experts here.
We are in pet food. We are in pet food, just not in heart health. So with that said, of course, if you're ever super concerned about your dog's heart health, or again, you notice something out of the ordinary, or they seem to be slowing down a lot more, or can't get up and down, things like that, It is very common with a senior pup, over 9 or 10 years old, to start developing those types of symptoms. So it's always good to get your vet's professional opinion, to get them looked at, just to give you peace of mind. But choosing a healthy pet food at a young age really does wonders for the lifespan of your dog over time. It'll help to avoid expensive vet bills, so start them young on a healthy pet food. And we hope you have a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Cheers.
Cheers.